Hi, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nancy, and this is Nancy's Bookshelf, where I like to review the books that I have enjoyed reading. Typically, those books are romance novels, but sometimes I like to throw something in there that is not, or it's more suspenseful or a murder mystery kind of book. But today's book is a romance novel. It is actually book 3 of the Cottonwood Cove series, On the Shore. This book was like everything else in the series. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. I think I've mentioned, there's only one that I haven't liked, and that was actually book 4. But this one is a small town, enemies to lovers, sports, romance. This one has to do with him getting her fired from her sports job. So it is really cute, and I've absolutely enjoyed it. Again, it's one that I'm not necessarily gravitated towards because of the sports romance, but I think they may be starting to be my new thing. Maybe for fall. Maybe fall I'll jump more into different themed sports books. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, if you are enjoying these videos, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join my book community here on Facebook, and I look forward to chatting with you about the different books that you enjoy as well. So, and let's go ahead and get into the summary of this book review of On the Shores by Laura Pavlov. This book is a small town, enemies to lovers sports romance. Football sports romance. Summary. He's the GOAT of the NFL. She's a hot-headed reporter who despises him. They're in the same small town for the summer. What could go wrong? I am more than aware of the responsibilities that come with being the quarterback in the NFL. The upside is that I get to do what I want. I love every day. I play football. I make more money than I know what to do with. The downside, everyone wants a piece of me, and the press stalks me ruthlessly. One reporter, Brinkley Reynolds, has crossed the line. She takes it too far. So yeah, I have her escorted out of a press conference. Imagine my surprise when the same woman walks into a coffee shop in the small town where I've gone for privacy over the summer. I accuse her of stalking me. She calls me every name in the book and makes me feel unwelcome in Cottonwood Cove, her hometown. The place where she tucked tail and ran after I unknowingly got her fired. So now I'm enemy number 1. That's fine with me. I'm not the biggest fan of her either. She's equal parts stubborn and aggravating, but also the sexiest woman I've ever laid eyes on. So try and make the most and get amends. I am not the devil after all. But she will not give me the time of day unless I give her my story, one I've fought to protect from day one. I don't owe her anything, so why am I considering giving her everything? For my ratings, I gave this 4.5 stars. I really, really enjoyed this book. I love the writing and the banter in it. But it's not one, like, if someone's like, hey, what's a really good book to read? And I'm, like, obsessing about it, right? So it didn't quite make it to the 5, but I gave it a 4.5. As for the spice level, I'm gonna guess that with Laura, she does open door sex scenes, obviously. And she does multiple sex scenes in her book, but they're not overly spicy. So I gave it a 3. It's not anything too crazy or over the top, which is great. And it's just enough to keep the book moving, but it doesn't distract from the book. So it was done very well. So 4.5 stars and 3 on the spice. For my final thoughts on the book, I had mixed feelings on this book. I really felt like Brinkley overstepped, and with like the press conference and following him and that sort of thing. And I felt like in a way it wasn't really addressed. But now looking back on it, it kind of was, because she talks about how he always ignored her during press conferences and would never answer her questions. And so she felt like she needed to follow him so she could ask her questions because he wouldn't ever answer them. Um, but I do feel like she did overstep. The other thing I noticed with this is the other book, book one, and book two really hyped her up for her book. And while the book itself was written really well, and I loved it, I did feel like it fell a little short for her. Like there should have been more boss lady going on. Um, so I think there just could have been more control with what she was doing instead of running and tucking tail for the summer. So I just felt like there were things that could have changed to make her character stronger. Um, Lincoln, I felt he felt bad for getting her fired, and he wanted to help and spend time with her because he liked her. Um, and so he offered his story to help get her back to working, which I thought was really sweet, even though it was something he didn't necessarily want to share. Um, while this was a forced proximity in the small town, it wasn't, they were both living in the small town for the summer. It wasn't necessarily like what I'd call forced proximity, just because they were both in the small town, but they weren't like, I don't know. It didn't really feel all that forced. They both chose to stay. Um, their During their time getting to know each other, they had morning runs, and I loved how it had a slow build of their trust in their relationship and how it portrayed something that would really happen in real life. And so I really enjoyed that. Overall, I really enjoyed the book. And who doesn't love the Reynolds family group chat? And for me, that wins hands down, like every time. And their thoughts about it after are just amazing. I don't even know like how. I wish in some ways family banter was really like that. It's not in my family anyway. Um so anyway, let me know below what you thought of On the Shore Cottonwood series book number 3 in the comments below, and please consider hitting that red subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you next time for book number 4. Happy reading, book friends. Bye.